Hello folks, welcome to the TVI 2024 Christmas Special. It's been another fantastic year here on the channel and I'm very proud of what I've achieved. We've gone through 356 more parishes of England, bringing the total up to 1,404. That's just over 13%. We're 4 years down, 26 to go. And you know, I couldn't have got this far had it not been for the support of you guys. So thank you very much for another awesome year on TVI. Now you may have noticed in the last few videos before the end of the year that I've been wearing this thing on my hat. I wear this hat in the winter when it's cold and I have a TVI badge on it. You can still get your hands on one of these badges because I have some left here. Look, there are 7 in this little bag. There might not be 7 by the time this video goes out, but there's 7 at the moment. If you want to get your hands on one of those, all you need to do is PayPal me a £5 or pay me however you like, basically, and I'll get one of those to you, hopefully within the next few weeks. You know what the postal service is like. It's very difficult to know whether or not they're going to deliver on time these days, but there we go. So as you know, at the beginning of this year, I set out to finish 3 counties, not districts, counties, and I've done it. South Yorkshire, the East Riding of Yorkshire, and Nottinghamshire are all complete, and every single video is up there on YouTube for you guys to enjoy again, or for the first time if you've never actually seen them. Now, one question that I get asked a lot as I've been on my travels is, what's your favourite parish? That's a very, very difficult question for me to answer, considering the amount of places I go to. But considering that those 3 counties are now finished, I decided to make a little top 3 in each one so that you can see which ones I enjoyed the most. Let's have a look. So let's start with South Yorkshire because that's the one I completed first. At number 3 I've gone with Warmsworth. I like everything about Warmsworth. It's got some really interesting bits, like for example that tower in its oldest part that nobody seems to know the true purpose of. The reason I like it though is because for the last 14 or 15 years I've walked around it or driven through it more times than I care to admit. Whether I was living in Rotherham or in Doncaster, I've passed through this countless times. It's a surefire way to know I'm almost home, and it's never altered. At 2, it's Barnby Done with Kirk Sandal. I think the thing I like the most about this place is the swing bridge, or lift bridge if you will. It's one of those iconic landmarks which you do well to miss. I am aware, of course, there are some others like it north of Doncaster, but I've always liked this one the most. And let's not forget, Barnby Done is a nice village. It's one of those that's well enough out of the way to be considered a village too. It's kind of joined to Doncaster, but at the same time it has its own identity. I like that a lot. And for me, the best one in South Yorkshire was Tickhill. Again, this is another one I know really well thanks to my work a few years ago. I've also had friends that lived there too, so covering it was almost like being on my own doorstep. The best feature for me in Tickhill is the mill dam. It's a shame the pub next to it is a co-op now, but you still can't beat the dam for a nice peaceful spot to enjoy. I also love the road between Tickhill and Wadworth. I can't think of any other stretch of tarmac like it. It offers some great atmospheric views on a cold winter's day. Now to the East Riding, which was a much harder task given how big the place is. With 171, it was a tough ask to pick just 3 of them. Coming in at number 3 is Paul. Now, I'd never been to Paul before I covered it, but I sort of knew what to expect. For me, the lighthouses are the best bits here. The one in the village itself is pretty cool, but it's the 2 along the Humber estuary that did it for me. I don't know why. I think there's something cathartic about wandering along the Humber estuary no matter where you are. I think in Paul, though, you get the best view across the water to Lincolnshire. I'm sure you all remember the boat too at the end of the video. That was pretty cool. For number 2, I've gone with another place with a famous lighthouse, Flamborough. I absolutely love Flamborough. A lot of people go there for the sea and the coastal attractions, but honestly, I like the village just as much. It's got everything, hasn't it? The most recent Flower Pot Festival was cool to see as well. Flamborough Castle is well worth looking at too. I know you can't get to it and all that, but even so, it's a brilliant bit of history that's literally right there in front of you, screaming, "Look at me, look at me." The best bit about the village too for me is the fact that it's pretty flat. Now, number 1 was no contest, it's Goole. I did consider not including the ones with town status in these rundowns, but then I thought, no, it's a parish, give it its due. Goole is awesome, trust me, I've worked there. I know it's a criminally underrated town. It's got a great skyline too, hasn't it? I mean, if you pass over the Ouse Bridge on the M62, you can pick out the best bits with ease. The church spire, the docks, and the water towers, Salt and Pepper, it's all there, isn't it? It's full of friendly people too, and I love Old Gul and how otherworldly that feels. Finally, Nottinghamshire, which was the hardest task of all. There are 235 across the entire county, so this was next to impossible. Nonetheless, I had a go and I've come up with this. For number 3, I've gone with Southall, or Southwell if you will. We don't see many cathedrals on the channel because the vast majority of them are in cities, and therefore they're unparished. However, in Southall we did see one, and what a building it is. I think Southall Minster is one of the best things in Nottinghamshire, period. I mean, Southall just has it all, doesn't it? It's a vibrant market town, and how about its connection to Bramley apples? That was something I had no idea about, and it was really interesting too. At 2, it's Wotton in the Vale. I had a really hard time trying to pick a favourite in Rushcliffe because I like them all for various reasons. I think Wotton in the Vale was probably the best of the lot though. It was there where we met the River Smite for the first time, and that was nice. I reckon the church spire is what did it for me. I remember being stood near the railway line at the end and looking back to the church and seeing the spire silhouetted in the morning light. That was pretty special. I'd love to live in Wotton too. Honestly, it seems like a really good little village, and it's close to Nottingham, which is handy. And my favourite in Nottinghamshire is officially Linby. Again, Gedling was full of great little bits and bobs, but Linby was awesome. It's hard to pick one bit as well. The 2 crosses were really interesting, and so too was the colliery with its immense output figures giving it a place in history. I reckon though the thing that did it for me in Linby was the tale of Linby docks and how the Germans thought they were something to worry about during the war. If there's one thing I've learned about England over the past few years, it's just how good folklore tales can be. You'll not find many more that are finer than that one in Linby. So now let's see where else we've been this year on TVI. Here's the complete rundown of every single place I've covered this year. This year I've decided to present this in chronological order, the order in which you guys would have seen them all on the channel, starting from January the 2nd and ending with December the 23rd. Let's see how many of these you can recall. And don't forget, they're all on YouTube, so they can all still be viewed. Merry Christmas, folks, and I'll see you in 2025.